Hey, what's going on? It's Matt here, and in this video, we're going to talk about how to actually set stuff up on the flight sim desk. So this was a question that came in from one of our viewers. Sorry, I forgot your name. I'll put the thing up here the other day, but he was asking, how do you mount everything to the desk? How does the flight sim actually go together? And at first, I was thinking, well, you just put it on the desk. But then I thought about it a little longer, and I was like, that's a pretty legit question. It might, yeah, it looks cool sitting there, but how does it actually go together? So you guys are going for a little bit of a tour today. Let's go take a look at this and see how this thing looks. Hopefully I can flip this thing around. So I was not able to flip around, but check this out. So we have the flight sim. So it's a little bit dark in here. I got all the lights on. I got all this stuff. I'm playing some GTA over here because why not? And we have a panel. We have a monitor back here. I'm going to show you guys a few different things, how this thing goes together. I can clean this up a little bit. So I'm going to get back to these. These are little side mounts right here, but I'm going to get back to those in just a second. So I have a desk. It's nothing but a regular old desk. You could buy one at the store, or I built this one out of a butcher block, did my own sealing and staining and whatnot. But the monitor is on a stand, just a gas-powered stand, so that way it's not sitting up, taking up space on the desk, right? And so that's one way to save a little bit of space. It's just a monitor. If you had more than one monitor, you could use the same thing and just set up more than one VESA mount. That's what it's set up as back here, is like a VESA mount. You can't really see it back here, but there's a VESA mount, which is like 4 mounts on the back of there, or that like screw mounts. It's a very standard mounting system for monitors. So good mounting system. The rest of it is just kind of clamped to the desk. So I happen to have a panel that was created by Stay Level Avionics, and they made me a system, a custom mounting system to put all of my stuff in here. So this is just a flat screen monitor mounted on the back side of the panel right here, right? So I've got that. I've got this, which is just clamped to the bottom. So you guys are getting literally the underside of the desk look here. And it's just a C-clamp, guys. It's just sitting there held on. So that way when you pull back and forth on the yoke, it doesn't go anywhere, because this thing does have a tight spring in it. Most of them do, and you would need to clamp it down. So let's come over here and take a look. We have a pedestal here that kind of sits down from the rest of the panel, and that has its own stuff that's custom designed to sit in here. And then behind this pedestal, let's see if I can get a shot back here. The cord actually comes out from behind there, and that sits through like that, and then the cords kind of run behind here, right? So that's pretty much it. But that screws it. This is removable, and I can unscrew this if I want, but why? So if I didn't have all this, guys, I would probably want to find a way to make all this sit on the table or a desk, but it would kind of look a little bit sloppy depending on how I did it. Now, Stay Level Avionics, or not Stay Level, but Real Sim Gear has these little things here. This is for my dual G5s, and this is for the 530, 430. So that was these. In fact, when I first started this project, that's what they were in. You could screw these to the desk. You could see there's holes in the bottom, so I could set this up. They're built with the same bevel or whatever, the molding of the frame, so they're both in line with each other, and they could make a panel. I could do that. This monitor came with a like a little foldable, I don't know what you would call it, a little thing that it allows you to fold out, and it just kind of stands on its own. It's a little flip out stand, and that sat next to these. I'll show you a picture of that. That's how it looked when I first started. So all that is how it's set up. I've got all this stuff, all the wires, they all go through down to the bottom, down here, and then I've got the wire runners down here, and then everything goes into way over here in the corner. You can't really see it. I'll throw a picture up, but that's just a USB hub which goes into the back of here. And then everything on here, pretty much this entire setup is USB or USB-C, some kind of USB something rather, and that's how everything connects to the USB hub or directly to the computer via USB, or this thing kind of acts as a USB hub here. So I'm actually able to plug a couple different things directly into here. I've got this, which is, it's not really connected to the computer. It's just a power adapter, but there just happens to be USB going directly into here. So not too many people realize this is here, but it's a USB charging adapter right underneath there. And so that connects to this, which allows me to conveniently charge my iPad, or a tablet or whatever I want to put in there. So that's kind of how everything works. And then of course that just, the pedals just go right into the rest of the system there. So that's how it works. There's really nothing too overly insane about the setup or how it sits there. This is just a panel. It just kind of sits there. It's very stable. It's not going anywhere because this thing kind of keeps it in place. But if that wasn't there to keep it in place, I would want to have some way to probably hold whatever devices, whatever avionics, whatever controls I had. You would want to find some kind of clamp to keep it in place, or a stand to keep it in place, or have something like this where it's got the screw holes in the bottom of this, and you would bolt some kind of a mounting system for your avionics. Whatever you come up with, you want to find some way to keep it in place, okay? Now, some of this stuff doesn't come with a housing or any way to mount it. Specifically, this. You can get mounting brackets for these because that's real sim gear, so I could have gotten a mounting bracket for these items. This doesn't come with a mounting bracket, so this doesn't necessarily come with a mounting bracket depending on who you got it from. So some of these items are going to be a little bit harder to mount than others, so you might have to get creative as to where you're going to get a mount from or how. So speaking of mounts, and that's why, by the way, why I went with stay level in the first place was because I really wanted it to look good. I didn't want to have random stuff just sitting around looking like a mess on my desk. So yeah, I got something where I could put all this stuff into a custom setup. And this here actually just has a RAM mount. It's sitting back here. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a RAM ball mount back there that's attached to the panel itself, so that I can put this on and remove it, and actually, if I wanted to take it down, I could. And then I just got an iPad mount so that I could use my iPad for ForeFlight or something, right? So that's how it works. Nothing too over the top, but I wanted to answer that question. I thought that was a really good question upon reflection, and really thought that might help more than one person out. So I hope this helps. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tour. If you guys have any questions, throw them down in the comments, and I will catch up with you guys in another video. Take care. Hey, if you haven't already done so, head over to EliteSimBuild.com, grab a copy of our Home Flight Simulator Resource Guide. Do that thing where you click the button, give us your email address, and we will send you a copy of our simulator guides where you can get the resource list, the avionics reviews, a panel blueprint, so that way you guys can send that off to your panel guy, get all the parts and pieces that you need. You'll know exactly what software to pick up so you can get your Cessna 172 flight simulator built today.